Hello Sunshine, this is Joy from Michigan in the US, and today, you guessed it, we're going to do another pour with purple and rouge and lime green. This is my triple ring pour, and if you read through some of my comments you might have seen that I said it did not dry well. It's really a bummer. There were some really gorgeous things going on, but, and I'm not sure how much you guys can see because I can't see my camera, it's up so high. This spot here, these are all spots that the silicone came through, and it muddied the colors as it came up through the paint. So we lost a lot of the pretty effects. There is some grain of the colors, and I think that's just a coat of varnish would bring those colors back out in all their bright beautifulness. But I can't live with all these ugly blobs from the silicone. So I've thoroughly washed this canvas, and I'm going to re-pour it with a triple ring pour just like I did last time. Before I do that, I wanted to show you guys, this is the fun part of pouring. I have done now 4 paintings, all with the same colors, different techniques, but same colors, same pouring mediums, and very different results. So let me just show you. This was one of my early ones. The green dried really nicely. I think a coat of varnish will really make these colors pop again. So that one turned out really nice. And then we have, this one is probably the most unique piece. It looks so different from all my others in the same colors. Obviously less rouge and violet in here and more blues and greens, but it just really turned out lovely. This one I had a hard time getting a picture of because I did it later in the day and my lighting in my art room was horrible. So there's that one in slightly better lighting. And then this is, I love this one. I don't know what to say about it. I just love it. This is the ring pour that I did most recently. It's drying very nicely. I'm not losing my green here too much like I was worried I might. I did have some interesting effects on the edges here, but overall I think it'll still work. Even with the sides being so different from the front, I think it still works. It's got some color on the sides, and I think that takes care of that issue. So those are my 4 pieces so far. This one I'm going to redo, but they're just so different even though they're the same colors. And like I said, that's the beauty of poured painting. You never know what different results you will get. So I am going to layer my cups for you. I have no idea if you can see me putting the paint in or not, but I don't really feel like it's super critical that you see it. So if you can't see it, I apologize. Maybe I'll put one on top of the canvas because I just can't get tall enough to tell what you guys can see. So I'm going to follow a very similar order to what we did before. Okay, hold on. That looked like a clump. It's really hard to see clumps in white, but I just want to make sure I don't have anything crazy going on. Maybe not. I'm not finding anything. Okay. Paper towel. I moved things around in my room today, and so I'm just not finding things. They were in a mess before, but I knew where everything was, so. All right, so bear with me as I fill my cup. I'm going to fill all 3 at the same time, so I don't have to remember the order of the colors 3 times. All right, there's our white, which is almost gone. And then in the center, we want this lovely lime green. Oh goodness, I should have opened my paints before this, sorry guys. I'm gonna put a fair amount of lime green in there because I really want the lime green to come through. And I'm not too worried if all 3 cups are exactly the same, but I want them very similar. Same order of colors. They may have, one may have more of one color than another. And then I'm going to put in, after the lime green, iridescent medium. I have only done this once before, and I didn't really notice a big impact on the pour, but I just like to try it and see. Hopefully that doesn't mess me up. Okay, and then we're going to go to this lovely rouge, which again, I said in one of my recent videos, it dried really, or not dried, but mixed really light compared to the color in the bottle. So I think that will deepen as it dries. And then this time I'm going to add, last time I didn't do this, Oh my goodness, there's not much of this to add, so we'll see. I'm gonna try to throw some copper in there, just to give it a little bit of sheen and shine and glitz. Metallics produce some really, really lovely effects, so I like using them. All right, and then we're gonna go to violet. And I'm supposed to do light violet after my violet. That's what I did on this pour here. Unfortunately, my light violet is out. My white is almost out. I'm almost out of that color. So I'm just not gonna use it this time. That's just what I decided. We're gonna skip the light violet and go right to the black with the silver. Oh goodness. Okay. Black. Let's take a little more. All of these colors again are running out because I've used them so much lately. And then we're gonna add, I'm gonna add, this is the slight difference from last time. I'm adding a little bit of gold. Again, just because the metallics give such a lovely, lovely effect. So we'll see what that does. Okay, now we're gonna add our custom color of metallic blue, which is blue, phthalo blue plus silver. And I know you guys can't see because of the great big lid on this thing, sorry. There's really no rhyme or reason as far as which color I add, how much of, it's just kind of whatever my heart says. I don't ever measure things. I've never been a measuring kind of person, but all right, we're gonna go back to our violet. And then white. And then I'm going to add these next colors. We're not in the original. We're gonna go, oops, I'm gonna do, the last color I put in on the first time I did this canvas was lime green, so I'm gonna put that in. And we have 3 very full cups, so I can't imagine we don't have enough paint. So these next 2 colors were not in the original pour. That is gold. This is Extreme Sheen 24K gold, which is a beautiful, beautiful gold. And then we're gonna top it off with some rouge. All right, guys. So I have 3 cups ready to go. I'm just gonna move my paints kind of off to the side so I'm not running into them. I have my canvas a little bit further back on my table than what I normally do, so I think that's throwing me off a little bit. All right, and we're just gonna do ring pours. So let's start with this one in the middle. Nice and slow, take your time when you're doing a ring pour. You get much lovelier patterns if you take your time. And I usually pour my ring pours pretty low to the canvas. My cup is pretty close, if you notice. That's because the higher up your cup is, the more likely it will mix the colors. And I don't really want mixed colors, so. There's cup 1. All right, cup 2. And normally when I do a re-pour like this, I try to give the canvas more time to dry. I kind of rushed this one just because I really wanted to get it done to show you guys the differences between all the different pours that I've done with these colors. So I would recommend not rushing it, but you know, if you're like me, sometimes that feels like just that's what you gotta do. So you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, and cup 2 is running off the side here. Let's see if I can just shift these down just a little, just so I don't lose too much paint there. I had one of my subscribers mention a corner catcher, and that's what I should have used when I did one of my pours, and I totally didn't think about it. Those are wonderful little tools that you can use. Kind of keep the paint from sliding off the canvas. When I did my, originally on this, I think it was 3-4 flip cups, and I should have caught it on the corners because I did opposite edges, which is fine. It just, sorry, I'm concentrating. I just lost a lot of paint that I didn't want to lose. All right, there we go. 3 cups, very different already from what I've done before. So we're just going to slowly tilt this around. I could add flow extender, which is just another coat of paint underneath this. You'll see I'm losing quite a bit here, but I'm not too concerned about it. I feel like I used much more black this time than I did on the last one, so that's interesting. All right, really, really hard, at least for me. I found it's very, very hard for me to watch 3 ring pours at once. This one really has kind of a rainbow feel for me. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like that. Trying not to pour off again. I could have used a corner catcher here, so as not to lose all of my paint. I've got one more corner, and you know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna set this down, which anytime you feel like, oh, I don't know, I'm stretching it too far, or I'm not able to keep track of what I'm doing, set it down. Take a second. The paint is pretty forgiving. You have some time. It's not a, you know, it doesn't have to be a quick process. So, oh, I really like this. I don't know, that's gotta be what, gold, or is that lime green? Or a combination of the two, I don't know, but it sure is pretty. Okay, so what I wanna do is add, in this corner up here, I'm out of paint. And I'm gonna lose all of these pretty effects. So I'm just adding this as a flow extender, just to help the paint flow over the edge. And I'm out of black and silver. I told you guys I was running out of these colors. My goodness, I really am. All right, I'm just gonna try to figure out where the weight of my paint is. Because I like my lines. I don't wanna lose my lines a whole lot. I just wanna stretch it up to this corner, if I can. I hope you guys are doing well, staying safe, staying warm. My goodness, it is not warm in Michigan right now. Not that we expect it to be. This is our kind of brutal time of year. I'm having a really hard time holding on to my canvas, guys. Okay. Just doing a little shifting here, trying to lose some of that white in the middle pour. I know I'm gonna lose other colors along with it, so I have to be okay with that. So think that through when you start really tweaking your composition. You know, sometimes you have to sacrifice something to keep something else. So as long as you're okay with that, it works out fine. But if you're not, you know, just be aware, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So this is nothing like what I had before, which is really, really sad. I'm glad I got some good pictures because It really was pretty. All right, I don't love that white in the middle, but I'm gonna live with it for now because I love what I have going down here. I love what I have going on over here. I like this black lacing through here. There's this lovely gold line. So I may just have to live with this white. I'll hit that with some heat. Another possibility would be to mix up, oh, I don't even know what color. Whatever color I chose with some silicone and add some cells that way, but I'm not really sure I want to mess with it that much. So we'll see. I'm going to pause this, clean my hands, hit this with heat, and I will be right back with you. Let you know what I decide to do about that in the middle. All right, guys, I couldn't decide what to do about that white in the middle, so I sent a picture to someone that I trust and asked them, is this too much white? Do I need to lose that middle section or, you know, swipe it? And they begged me to quit touching this and leave it as it is because they thought it was wonderful. So I'm going to take their advice. I will take you in for a close-up. There are some really lovely, like I said, almost like a rainbow effect, just so many colors in there. And it's hard to show on video, but there's a lot of metallic in there too that I think is going to dry beautifully and add a lot once it's varnished. Love this little lacy section over here with the yellow and the white. And then we have these beautiful lines here. And I can never get close enough to show you, but you're getting a pretty good view there. All these lines. And then we have this section. Guys, look at that. It's really hard to get a good, but can you see the lacing? So it's this really fine detail. It will dry really, really dark, but hopefully it'll still be visible. And again, resin varnish, whatever I choose to do will make that really pop. And then this is the middle section that I'm unsure about, but I'm told to leave it, so I'm gonna leave it. All that white right there. It does have some lovely effects. These little lacy cell-filled sections I really like. Just so much to look at. And there's that thin gold lime green something line that I just really love. I think it adds something really special to this section. Sorry, I'm moving kind of quick. Right there, that shot right there is just so pretty. All right, and I think this is the top. I always struggle with orientation until it's nice and dried and I've lived with it for a little bit, but I think that'll be the top. I will add some pictures after this. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I have lots of new people. I'm so grateful you're here, so glad to have you. Let me know what you think. I love to read your comments. Try to respond to all of them. Trying to show you guys the metallic effects in here, and it's just, the lighting is, it's very cloudy today, so I just don't think I have the right lighting, but there are some lovely metallic effects in here that will hopefully dry beautifully. I will show you guys this one once it's completely dried. I will show it on another video. So be watching for that. Hopefully it dries much better than the first one did. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. I will see you on the next one.